thank you for joining me today. My name is Christine McNally and this class is called Kicking High, Lunging Low. We will be working on kicking up into a handstand against the wall or on your mat alone if that's something that's available to you, and lowering slowly down into a low lunge position. So for the class you'll need a couple of blocks, a yoga belt, and some of you will benefit from having like a block tower like this with 2 or 3 blocks. Okay, so we'll start by lying on our backs. Have your belt and your blocks close to you here. And lie back, bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart. Some of you might enjoy placing the blocks under your thighs at any position you like and at any level you like. If you find it's uncomfortable, just to let your knees dangle here, or if they don't reach the floor. Close the eyes and give yourself a moment to arrive on your mat. Take one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly. Observe the movement of your breath and how your body rises and falls with that movement. And before we begin the class, just find this stillness. This connection with your breath. Give yourself permission to not be perfect. And slowly draw the knees together, plant the soles of the feet. If you're using blocks, just place them to one side. Draw one knee into the chest, interlace your fingers and hold that knee in place. If it's comfortable, slowly slide the other leg down the mat. You can imagine here that you have a wall that you're pressing the foot of that straight leg into just for a moment, and then you can completely melt into the pose. Holding on to the knee with one hand, you can take your free hand, get the thumb, and just find that hip crease and slide the muscle out of the way there, just to get a little bit deeper into this. Release that foot back down to the floor. Draw the other knee in now. Hold it in place. And again, gauging if you want to straighten that leg, push that foot into that imaginary wall, and then melt into the pose. Again, using one hand, the thumb of one hand, to find that hip crease and slide the muscle out of the way. So you can draw the knee maybe a little bit closer. Release that foot down to the floor. Bend the other leg now, bring that foot in. Stretch the arms out in a T shape, palms facing down, and take one leg up in the air. Point the toes towards your face. And then we'll start with little kicks towards the face. Bring that foot down, bring the other foot up, toes to the face, and kick. And bring that foot down. Draw one knee into the chest again. This time, hover the other leg at a height that is suitable for you. Bring head, neck and shoulders off the floor. Press through both heels. And then switch knees. And switch. At your own pace here. Going fast or going slow. At some point you might release the hands. Try to keep the knee squeezing in as much towards you as before. Spark through the fingers. Draw both knees into the chest for a moment. Let the head rest on the floor. Take both feet up towards the ceiling now. Point through the toes. Lift head, neck and shoulders off the floor. Reach for one leg as you let the other one extend away. And switch. And switch. At some point you might remove the hands, spark through the fingers again. Draw both knees into the chest, bring the head down for a moment. Slide your fingers behind your knees, lift the head, and we'll inhale, go back towards the shoulder blades, exhale, rock up. Inhale back to the shoulder blades, exhale, rock up. Inhale back, exhale. Inhale back, exhale up. And then come all the way up. Cross the legs. And we will step back now into a tabletop position. Find your tabletop. From here, spreading the fingers, let's start to circle around the hands, gripping the floor with your fingertips. Circling around, gripping the floor. Change direction. Back to center. Flip the fingers out to the side. Start to move a little bit your weight from one side to the other. Back to center. Turn the fingers all the way towards your knees now. If it's not comfortable to do this with both hands, you might do one at a time. You might even lean back. You will bend into the elbows. You will lift the heels of the hands. Just finding your edge here. Start to walk the hands back. So fingertips are pointed forwards. Take the back of one hand, press it into the mat. Bring it back. Back of the other hand, press it into the mat. And bring it back. Okay. Next we will cat-cow the spine. So lifting the tailbone up, arching the back, lifting the chin. Tuck the tailbone under, round the back, push the floor away. Move between these two positions now. Just bringing that extra movement into your spine, that fluidity. and then come back to neutral. From here, we'll try to isolate this area of the upper back. So we're trying to separate the shoulder blades, draw them back together. Separate the shoulder blades, draw them back together. In your tabletop position, push the floor away and then draw the shoulder blades back together. Push the floor away, draw the shoulder blades back together. Push, draw them back together. Okay, so now we're ready for our floor flow. From this position, tabletop, push the floor away. Angry cat. Tuck the toes, lift the knees an inch. Keep pushing the floor. Bring the knees down, untuck the toes, keep the left foot out to the side, extend the right leg. Take your right arm up and then over the head. Take a moment here, just breathe and enjoy the stretch. You have the option to stay here or side crunches, so lifting the right knee, bending the right knee, bending the right elbow, and extending 3 times. Take that right hand up towards the ceiling again. And see if you can take that left leg back into a full side plank. From here, lift the hips slightly. See if you can float the right leg, bend the knee. Take it behind, the foot behind you. Drop the hips. And then push up, wild thing. Lower down. Push up. Lower down. Push up. Look back towards the floor. Retrace your steps. We'll come into a regular plank. Angry plank, knees down. From here, right knee goes out to the side, back in, 3 times in total, out to the side, back in, out to the side, back in. The right leg extends behind, lifts up, lowers down, lifts up, lowers down, lifts up, lowers down. Tuck the left toes now and push the floor until you come into a 3-legged dog. Lift the left heel, lower down. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Bend the right knee into the chest now. Start to travel forwards until shoulders are on top of wrists. Step the right foot outside of the hands. Left knee to the floor now, finding your lizard. And we'll just floss back and forth here. Step that right leg back. Find your plank. Angry plank. Knees down. Sit back towards the heels, keeping the toes tucked. Okay, so we'll do that on the other side. Finding your tabletop position. And find your angry cat. Lift the knees an inch. Beast pose. Drop the knees down, untuck the toes, keep that right foot out to the side, extend the left leg, left arm up towards the ceiling, supported side plank. Reach that arm all the way over the head, just enjoying the stretch here. Then option for side crunch, 3 in total. That hand up towards the ceiling again, and then see if you can take that right foot behind the left for a full plank. From here, starting to lift the chest up towards the ceiling, see if you can float the left foot and then take it behind you, drop the hips down, reset if needs be, and lift into your wild thing. Drop down, lift up, drop down, lift up, breathe. Retrace your steps. This time finding your regular plank. Angry plank. Knees to the floor. This time knee goes out to the side, left knee. 3 times, back in and out. Extend the left leg behind you now. Lift it up, lower down, lift it up, lower down, lift it up, lower down. Tuck the toes of the right foot, push until you come into a 3-legged dog. Keep that flying leg active. Lift up onto the toes of the right foot, 3 times. Draw the left knee into the chest, travel forward, shoulders on top of wrist, step that left foot to the outside. Right knee comes down. From here, flossing back and forth. Fire up the back leg. Take that left leg to join it, puff up through the back, knees down, sit back towards the heels. Okay, so that's our floor flow. Okay, let's see from here. I'm going to do that again a little bit faster and see how you get on. Okay, so let's meet in tabletop position. Angry cat. Tuck the toes, knees lift, beast pose. Knees back down, untop the toes, left foot out to the side, right leg extends, supported side plank. Reach the arm over the head, little side crunch, extend, take that arm back up, full side plank, lift the hips up, see if you can float the right foot, take it behind you, drop the hips, lift them up. Retrace your steps, coming into a full plank now, and then bringing the knees down. Right leg out to the side, bring it back. Right leg extends behind, lift it up. From here, tuck the left toes, push into a 3-legged dog. Lift the sole of the right foot. Bring it down. Draw the knee into the chest, travel forward, step the foot. Look forwards, draw back. Come up, fire up that back leg, step that foot back, puff up through the back. Bring the knees down, sit back towards the heels. Okay, let's do that on the other side. From here, angry cat. Tuck the toes, knees lift, beast pose. Bring the knees down, untuck the toes, right foot out to the side, left leg extends, arm goes up and over. Option for a little side crunch. Bring it back, arm up towards the ceiling, full side plank. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. See if you can float that left foot. Bring it behind you. Drop the hips down and lift them up. And then retrace your steps. Coming into a full plank. Bring the knees down. Left knee out to the side. Bring it back. Left leg extends behind. Bring it back. Tuck the right toes. Push. 3-legged dog. Lift onto the right toes. Bring them down, knee into the chest, travel forward, step the foot, come into your lizard, flossing back and forth, and then fire up that back leg, step that left foot back to join, angry plank, knees down, sit back towards the heels. And coming up. So I think that's enough work on our hands for the moment, just rolling out the wrists, interlace your fingers. A little massage for the wrists. And we're going to come up to standing for our next flow on our feet. So from here, I'll be standing at the top of your mat. Step your right leg back into this high lunge position. Draw the elbows out and down, lower the back knee, open the chest. Inhale, come up. Take your arms out into a T shape, open your hips to the side, back foot turns. Option to come up onto the toes of the front leg if you wish. Lower that heel, front palm faces up, Reverse your warrior. Come back. Right forearm to right thigh. Right arm over. Use your hand here to draw the right side of your ribs back. So here some of you want to use your brick for half moon. So we're going to press into that front foot. See if we can float our back leg. Open the hips to the side. Then take the other hand down to the floor, and this time you might want to place your bricks on a high setting. I'll just get it better positioned. So with the leg floating behind, we're not going to kick the back leg. We just want to squeeze the bum and the hamstring of that leg and release it a little. Squeeze it and release it. Squeeze it and release it. Squeeze, release. Okay, from here, so you might continue to use your bricks here. This time we're thinking about our standing splits or half standing splits. Really taking that leg, pointing those toes, bringing it up as high as we can. Bring our forehead towards our leg. Now, if you're on bricks, maybe try to find the floor. Even if you have to place the hands a good bit in front and bend that bottom leg a good bit, that's okay. Spread the fingers and just lean into your hands with your leg up in the air. Bring your left heel back down, bend into that left leg, and we want to come up into knee to chest. Draw that knee in, and then take your hands, push like you're trying to push a wall away, and then bring that leg back into your warrior three. Take your hands to the floor. We're going to come up onto the toes of the left foot here. So we just want to kick this leg up in the air, and the other one then follows it, and then we switch them in the air to go into our high lunge on the other side. So if you just want to watch for a moment, it's okay. You don't have to get very high, okay? So we just bend, kick, and switch, and then come up. I'll just show you that one more time. Take the hands to the floor, come up onto the toes of that front leg, bend, kick, and switch, and we're over to our high lunge on the other side. So just give that a try, and then we'll do our flow on the second side. So when you're ready, find your high lunge position, then cactus the arms out, open the chest. Lower that knee if you wish. Coming up, opening the back foot out, arms in a T shape. Find your warrior two. Option to raise that heel if you wish. The heel of the front foot. Turn the front hand, palm up, and reverse your warrior. Come back, forearm to thigh. Reach that arm over the head. Use your hand to roll those ribs back, create space. And from here, we're going to transition into half moon. So if you know already that you want to use a block, go grab it. Bend into that right leg, float the left leg up. For this, our hips are opening out to the side. If you feel very unsteady here, you can always keep both hands on the floor or on blocks. Next, we're going to transition into a supported warrior three. So we want our hips to be facing towards the floor now. You could be on your bricks on a high setting here. That's my preference. So what we're going to do here is squeeze the left glutes and the left hamstring just to lift the leg slightly, and then release that squeeze a bit. Lift and release, lift and release, lift and release. Next we want to come into a half standing split. So hands might be on the bricks on a low setting or on the floor. We want to hug our body towards our leg, and we'll bring our forehead towards our shin. Top leg is really active. Find the floor with your hands. You can bend into your right leg, come up onto the toes even, and just lean into your hands. And then bring that right heel back to the floor. We're going to bring that knee up, hug it into the chest. Push with your hands, like you're pushing a wall away. And then bring that leg back into warrior three, half standing splits. Take your hands to the floor. We're going to kick switch like before. Make sure you have space. Kick and switch. And we're into our high lunge on the other side. Let's go a little faster now. High lunge, lower down, open chest, come up, warrior two, reverse. Extended side angle, forearm to thigh. Bring your hand to the floor or to a brick, half moon pose. Bring your other hand down, find your warrior three, squeeze and release. Half standing splits or full splits. Take your hands forwards and just lean into them. Then bring that left heel back down. Start to come up, knee to chest. Push. Come back down. Find the floor. Come up onto your toes. Little bend. Find your spring. Kick. High lunge on the other side. Open out. Drop the knee low. Cactus arms. Inhale, come back up. Warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Back to warrior two. Forearm to thigh, left arm over. Look down. Half moon on a brick or on the floor. Take your hand down. Square your hips. Give a little squeeze to the glutes and hamstrings on that flying leg. And then full half standing splits or full splits. Take your hands a little bit forwards. Come up on the toes of your right foot. Just lean into your hands a little. And then bring the heel back down. Come up to standing knee to chest. Push. And then back down to the floor. Lean forwards into your hands. Come up onto your toes. Kick switch. Other side. Cactus arms. Lower down. Open chest. Inhale. Come back up. Warrior two. Reverse. Back up. Extended side angle. Half moon. Warrior two, warrior three. Squeeze the butt. Release it. Squeeze it and bring your forehead towards your shin. Take your hands forwards. Come up onto the toes of your left foot. Lean into your hands. Bring that heel back down. Bring the knee into the chest. Hug it in. Push the imaginary wall. Bring it back down. Hands to floor. Come up onto those toes. Kick switch the legs for our last round. High lunge. Cactus arms, lower the knee, open the chest. Inhale, come up. Warrior two. Palm faces up, reverse. Warrior two. Forearm to thigh. Into your half moon. Warrior three, supported. Square the hips, squeeze the butt, and then relax forwards and down. Keep that top leg really active, forehead to shin. Take your hands to the floor in front of you. Lean into them, come up onto the toes of that left foot. Then bring that right heel back down. Come up into standing, knee to chest. Push the floor, or push the imaginary wall. Come back down, hands to the floor. Last time. Kick and switch. And then you can come up for a moment. Okay. So we're going to position our mat against our wall now. So we're coming towards our peak pose, okay? So apologies, my wall, so that you can best see me, is a door, so it can be a bit noisy if I kick up. So hopefully it won't be too noisy for you. Okay, so as always you can have your bricks close by. These might come in handy and you'll see why in a minute. So from here we're just going to take a low lunge position. Just take a moment here just to breathe with me. Take your hands to your left leg and just lean in. Take your fingertips to blocks or to the floor, and then just slide that heel away from you, toes towards your face. Okay, then fire up that back leg. So from here, if you just want to watch, and then you'll see what the idea is. So we're coming into half lunge, maybe like a slightly shorter, or like high lunge rather, maybe slightly shorter than normal. Spread the fingers, and then lifting that back leg, coming onto the toes. We want to find our spring here and kick up and see if we can get up into a full handstand against the wall. Then I'm going to come down on the opposite leg. So bend your opposite leg. So this is my right leg for me. Push through the heels. And you want to try and lower down as slowly as you can. It's not going to be very slow for me, but you do what you can. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And come down into your low lunge on the other side. And then, like before, just taking a moment here, getting deep into the stretch. And then the runner stretch. And then positioning yourself into a high lunge with your hands on the floor and the leg lifts, okay? So I have one leg that doesn't like to go up. That might be the case for you. So you might find you want a tower block, or it might be the case that neither leg wants to go up, okay? So what you can do in that instance is you can make the floor a little bit higher for you. So place the foot, you might take a little bit of positioning. Place the foot where you want it to be, and see if you can kick up from there with the help of your tower block. Okay? You can see there that I cheated and I didn't show you my less good side, just in case it didn't work out. And then if neither of those is appealing to you, you can always turn around here. Find your position here, and then lift that back knee, place your hands. Instead of kicking, you might place that foot on the wall and see about floating that other leg. You might get confident enough to come a little bit closer and see about finding this upside down shape And then when you're in it, you can switch legs and come down. Okay, so just going to roll out my wrists here. If you want to pause the recording there and give it a try, play around, try it a few times, and then when you're ready, you can join me back on the mat as we start to cool down and prepare for our Shavasana. Okay. So, if you have had a good go at that, then we can all meet up in a child's pose. Let's separate the knees out slightly maybe. Again, we might need to use our bricks in a moment, so have them close by. Separate out the knees wide. And then we're going to bring our hips up, but keep our arms extended. Elbows might come down to the floor here. If you prefer to bring your knees slightly under your hips, go ahead. Next, you can do this without bricks, but if you like the sensation with the bricks, go ahead. So I'm going to be bending the elbows now, bringing the fingertips back towards the shoulders. And for me this is quite nice because it gives space for my neck, so my head isn't kind of squashed against the floor. We'll see how you go. You could always cushion the blocks as well if they just feel a bit hard underneath your elbows. Slowly find your way up, and we'll come to lying on our backs. Take one leg up in the air, take the other leg up in the air. Just take a moment here. Take the soles of both feet down. And take one leg up in the air, bend the knee out to the side, place the outer edge of that foot on the right, on the opposite knee. if you want to make this figure four more intense, you can always lift the sole of the left foot, reach behind the thigh or on top of the knee. You don't have to do any of these if you don't want to. Keep it nice and gentle. From here, start to tip over to one side. So I have my right foot on top of my left knee, so I'm going to tip over to my left, trying to bring that left foot towards the floor. If the left foot doesn't reach, you might place it on a block instead. Or the right foot doesn't reach, rather. If you want to make the stretch more intense, you can always start to turn the gaze more towards the opposite side. Engage the abdominals, slowly bring yourself back to center. Bring that foot down. Just quick movement here of the knees. And brief movement of the knees from side to side. And feet hip distance. I'm taking my left leg up in the air now. Bending the knee out to the side, placing the outer edge of the foot on the opposite knee. Just take a moment here. If you want to make this more intense, you can always lift the sole of the right foot, draw everything towards you, hold behind the thigh or on top of the knee of that right leg. So we're going to slowly twist over to the right side, thinking about bringing that left foot to the floor or to a block. Adjusting whatever you need to adjust here. Maybe taking the gaze in the opposite direction. the abdominals. Slowly bring the knees back to center, bring that foot down. Windscreen wipers just for a moment. Take your brick. You can place it on a low or medium setting underneath the sacrum. Take both feet up in the air now. And then draw your right knee into your chest. Interlace the fingers, hold it in place. And slowly lower your left foot down towards the floor. If you want to explore adjusting the setting here of your block, you can. Holding on to your right knee, draw the other knee in, hug them both in for a moment. Then take both feet up towards the ceiling. Hug the left knee into the chest now. Slowly lower the right foot down towards the floor. Hug that right knee in to join the left. Bring the soles of both feet down to the floor. And remove your brick. Just take a moment here, eyes closed, to feel how the body feels in this moment. Next we'll place one of our blocks along the length of our spine. Okay, some people like to place another block, or you could use your block tower on a lower setting for this. So it's kind of a Goldilocks effect. You'll know when it's in the right spot because it feels really nice once it's there. So from here you can extend the legs. You could take them into a butterfly as well if you like. And then you get to decide whether you want to support the back of your head with another block or not. Letting your arms fall out to the side. Feel free to fiddle around, adjust whatever you need to adjust. If it feels too intense, you might also find that bending the knees is helpful. And again, you could cushion your block if you wanted to. gets uncomfortable at any point, you can remove it. If you want to adjust and put it on a higher setting also. Okay, we'll slowly prepare for our Shavasana. So you don't have to take a traditional Shavasana on your back if you prefer something else. I'm just going to show you this version with the blocks underneath the knees. I just particularly like that at the moment. So you can place the blocks under the knees, arms out. Or you could take any other position you like, even on your side or in reclined butterfly, supported reclined butterfly, whatever you like. Take a moment to gather up what you need for your Shavasana. Get comfortable. Make the adjustments you need to make before committing to not moving just for a few minutes. And take your hands behind your head and just lightly pull the head away before placing it back on the mat. Take the right hand, and just give your left shoulder a press. Draw that shoulder down. Take the left hand, give the left shoulder press. Draw that shoulder down. Take a big breath in. Let it all out through the mouth. Big breath in. Out through the mouth. Big breath in. Let it all go. Just allow yourself these few minutes to rest. deepen the breath. Bringing life back into the body, moving toes and fingers. And bringing more movements into the body. Whatever feels nice. Maybe drawing the knees in, rolling over to one side. Take a moment on your side. And help yourself up to sitting. Take a moment here with closed eyes. Thank you for joining me for today's class. Hope you enjoyed yourself more than anything.